We can't kick people out at 11:59 and expect them to find somewhere to go.
Homeless in a pandemic. Spokane agencies are now divided on what should happen next after one of the city's warming centers evacuated more than 100 people with nowhere else to go.
First, I'm announcing a statewide moratorium on evictions for failure to pay rent.
And no evictions. That is what Governor Jay Inslee announced last month. So what does that mean for those who are already experiencing homelessness?
Spokane didn't have this problem, and it's been getting worse and worse and worse.
And some of those who were evicted are now setting up tents in a Browns Addition park, while neighbors say they are not welcome.
Point is, we're going to stay here until we get some help. We're not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere.
Emotions running high in Browns Addition tonight. Neighbors aren't happy about homeless camps being set up in a nearby park. In the meantime, those facing homelessness say they have nowhere else to go. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here with us tonight. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. Our top story at this hour, more than 100 people facing homelessness evicted from the Cannon Street Warming Center, suddenly with nowhere else to go. They say they were staying there and now they're setting up camp in a city park in Browns Addition. We do have team coverage on this developing story tonight. Our Amanda Rowley is live at the Warming Center right now. Our Tim Pham is at Coeur d'Alene Park in Browns Addition. And that is where we begin right now. So, Tim, what can you tell us about the scene? What is happening there at the park right now?
At a park that's normally peaceful.
You guys can't stay here. We are staying here. What are you going to do about it?
Peace is not what you'll find.
Point is, we're going to stay here until we get some help. We're not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere.
A strong statement from Tina Anderson. She's homeless and is now calling Coeur d'Alene Park home.
So now we have 110 people, nowhere to go. So a kind donation brought us tents, blankets, food, and we decided to come here.
The park is being taken over with the litter and people just living here.
Neighbors in Browns Addition aren't happy. Since the shelter opened last fall, they say crime has risen. Their park now littered with trash, needles, and feces.
You know the bathrooms are locked. So when we're cleaning up trash, we're finding pits dug throughout the park, so you know what's happening.
The homeless population here says that's not them.
There are people shooting up drugs. Show me a person shooting up here now. Show me one.
They admit there are some who do those things, but the ones camping here say it's temporary until the city reopens a shelter.
Until we get something, anything, we will do our best to remain calm, to make sure stuff is picked up, and keep it clean.
People who live here, though, are fed up and blame the city for not holding up their end of the bargain to protect their quality of life.
It's no wonder that any time the city announces something like that, neighborhoods are up in arms and they are opposing it.
Son Vu says he's called 311 and crime checked multiple times, yet little has been done.
This neighborhood, Browns Addition, is being asked to bear a disproportionate burden of this problem.
Well, I did speak to the president of the neighborhood council in this community this evening, and he tells me that he's going to work with the mayor's office to work on a solution. In the meantime, the people staying at this park say they don't plan on going anywhere until the city finds them another shelter. We do want to turn our attention now to Amanda Rowley. She's live at the Warming Center. Amanda, how did this all happen, and why wasn't the city prepared for this end of this contract?
Thanks, Tim. The city of Spokane says that this warming center on Cannon Street will not be able to reopen for at least 2 weeks. Right now, about 100 people now have nowhere to go. And right now, no one's really taking any responsibility for what's happening here. So let's break down what we know about this shelter situation in the city right now. The city of Spokane entered a contract with Jules Helping Hands to run the Cannon Street Center, and that contract ends today at 11:59 p.m. City spokesperson Brian Coddington told me Jules violated the contract by kicking people out of the center and at the temporary shelter at the downtown library before this evening. He says the city has made arrangements for a different provider to now take over operations at both locations this evening. The Guardians will begin checking people in at the downtown library between 6 and 8 p.m. Executive Director of Jules Helping Hands, though, Julie Garcia, says she cannot believe this is happening during a pandemic.
Our contract ends at 12 o'clock tonight. We were told by the city that, and we can't kick people out at 11:59 and expect them to find somewhere to go. So we aren't checking them in today. There are still people down at Cannon that we are waiting to find beds for.
As for people camping in city parks right now, the city has their hands tied for the time being. In order for the city to enforce the sit-and-lie and public camping laws, there has to be space available in shelters and community court has to be open. And right now, that is not the case. Due to COVID-19, community court is closed, which means the city cannot cite people and send them to community court. But as we mentioned, the temporary shelter at the library in downtown Spokane will be open to people, and the Guardians will be checking them in starting at 6 o'clock tonight. Whitney?
Amanda, before you go, you did mention that the Cannon Street Warming Center isn't going to be reopening for 2 weeks. Why is it taking that long? Do we know?
Well, Whitney, Brian Coddington says Jules plans to exercise the 14 days allowed in the contract to remove belongings. And I talked to Julie Garcia. She said it's not possible to take down an entire shelter by the end of tonight. So she adds they are going to try and move as quickly as possible, though. She did tell me that the bunk bed frames in the shelter right now will remain, but those mattresses have already been distributed to those who have been displaced from the shelter. Reporting from the Warming Center here on Cannon Street, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, that is the current situation, Amanda. Thank you very much. We want to now turn to Brian Coddington, who is the spokesperson for the city of Spokane. He is now joining us live on video conference. Brian, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. So we're just finding out late this afternoon that Jules spending the next 2 weeks to pack up. So first things first, what is the city doing right now for the 100 plus people who are now camping in Coeur d'Alene Park in Browns Edition?
Thanks for having me on, Whitney. So we're clear about it, we are in the middle of a transition between a seasonal warming center model that happens every year. The contracts for those warming centers are expiring tonight at 11:59 p.m. There were provisions in place for residents to be able to stay until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, because it doesn't make any sense to put people out in the middle of the night. So there was an extension to be able to do that till 10 o'clock in the morning. Right now what's happened is we have made arrangements for an alternative provider to operate the library center tonight, beginning at 6 o'clock. So just in under an hour, people will start to be able to check in there. So we are encouraging those who are in the park to be able to come down and utilize that shelter space. If there's not enough room there, we will now be able to identify space that's underutilized capacity in the rest of the shelter system.
So does that mean that the city has people actively going to Coeur d'Alene Park right now, circulating to tell each one of those people what their options are? Because they're saying that they don't have an option, that they don't know where else to go. So what is the city doing to inform those people?
Yeah, so they are being informed. They've been informed this afternoon. They will continue to be informed this evening. In fact, there's arrangements been made for bus service to pick them up and drive them back to the downtown library location so that transportation doesn't become an obstacle. But we really want to make sure that everybody has a place to go this evening. As there's 93 licensed sites for the previous operator, so 93 beds. There's 59 at the downtown library location. The remainder of those will be absorbed into the rest of the shelter system. So the transition we're making is from that seasonal warming center model that happens every year to a regional approach that's specific to the COVID regional response need. So we're now entering into a regional shelter system need that's specific to the COVID response to allow those who are unsheltered to have a place to stay home, stay healthy.
Is there any kind of contingency plan on perhaps enforcing the sit-lie ordinance for any of those people who are down there camping in the park right now who do not go to these alternative locations that you guys have made available?
Right. So as your first two stories indicated, it is very much a balance between the neighborhood and making sure that those who are unsheltered have a place to go. So education is always going to be the first, second, and third attempt. And so we're going to spend the evening doing that, making sure people are aware that they can, in fact, utilize the shelter system they just came from. And so that'll be an ongoing process this evening. The park does have a curfew at 10 o'clock tonight, so at 10 o'clock tonight, that curfew will be enforced.
And what do you say to the neighbors there all around that park who say they're just caught in the middle now with a homeless camp suddenly cropping up, near their front yard?
Yeah, so we do apologize that they were caught in the middle of this. It's an unfortunate situation. Jules has served their guests quite well for the last several months, and it's unfortunate and disappointing that we're not going to be able to do that for up to the next 14 days to continue that service for them. But we have space and capacity within the system, and we will work tonight to get those who have been displaced back into the shelter system, because connectivity to services is what it's all about. That mission does not change just because we're in the middle of a pandemic. That mission remains constant and consistent.
So you said that there has been communication with Jules Helping Hands before today. How did this happen? What happened so that they felt like they had to get people out by 11:59 when you said there was a contingency plan or at least arrangements starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow? What happened there?
Yeah, I can't really explain where the disconnect came. They've been operating under a contract that was in place since last fall. That was a mutually agreed upon contract between both parties. It's been in place for several months now. There's been communication leading up to this over the past couple of weeks, reminders about the contract and communication as recent as yesterday to make the situation clear. So I can't speak to at this point where the breakdown happened.
All right, Brian Coddington, spokesperson for the City of Spokane, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us to share your insight on this developing situation. Thank you. And we are going to continue tracking this situation here in Coeur d'Alene Park in Browns Edition. In the meantime, for the latest information, you can always go to KREM.com and our KREM 2 mobile app. All right, now back to weather as we talk about yesterday, which was near 80 degrees, well into the 70s. Today, just as beautiful, not as warm. Tom Sherry is joining us live now with how things are looking as we head closer to the weekend. Hi, Tom. Oh, no. Okay, well, we would love to hear what Tom Sherry is saying. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's funny. We will make sure to get him all straightened out here. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
As an essential business, we're open for parts and service. At Gus Johnson Ford, we service every make and model and follow protocol to keep us all safe. While our sales office is closed, please shop online for historic Ford offers. Unless you are an essential employee, we cannot sell you a vehicle today, but we can answer all of your questions by phone or online, and my team can work out a deal of a lifetime. And thank you for supporting local business like Gus Johnson Ford.
At Holiday Heating and Cooling, we take your comfort and your safety seriously. Hi, I'm Chris Holiday. To ensure the health and safety of both our customers and our holiday technicians, we will be applying all precautions, including wearing fresh masks and latex gloves while we are in your home. Additionally, with good credit, we can get you 18 months of financing featuring no payments and no interest on any work we do. Your comfort and safety are our top priorities, and we will answer the call whenever you need our help.
You've got miles and miles of grass to mow. So you're going to need a machine built to perform, day in and day out, season after season. You're going to need a Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Call us today at Coeur d'Alene Tractor or Adams Tractor of Spokane for all your Gravely sales and service needs. We're here for you at adamstractor.com.
Ryan Ragazza Barassa left the hospital this week to a round of applause. Doctors and nurses lined the hallway and spot victory against the virus spreading across the globe.
Did they ever tell you how close you were to not surviving?
I think the word miracle pretty much summed it up.
He wanted to give a huge shout out and a thank you to the doctors and nurses who cared for him at Sacred Heart. He said while he was in the hospital, they were his family.
KREM 2 News is sponsored by Papay Machinery.
Welcome back. We're going to try this again. Working from home sounds all good and well until something goes wrong with the technology. Tom Sherry is at home. He's excited to tell us about the forecast because, this is the day before Friday and we're all excited about the weekend. So, Tom, it's a beautiful night. Tell us what we can expect as we head into the weekend.
Well, Well, Whitney, the problem was my wife had flipped the mute switch on me.
Don't you hate that?
Which is getting flipped more and more. I'm finding as the days go on. So we put, but she says it's handy as heck.
I believe
so
it.
we've unmuted right now. What a beautiful day today. Let's go over to the KREM 2 remote weather window, if we will. Take a look outside. My gosh, already decreasing cloud cover. Still a bit on the breezy side. Not nearly as windy as it was earlier today. And just a nice, mild day. As a matter of fact, our current temperature is 62 degrees, which is right where we should be for this time of year. You can see the wind is out of the south-southwest right now at 20 miles per hour. When we take a look at the satellite and radar picture, we still have showers that are occurring down in north-central Idaho and some stronger storms over in western Montana, but relatively quiet across most of the Pacific Northwest at this particular time. You got a few showers and even might even be an isolated thunderstorm up along the Canadian border, but for the most part, we're not seeing much in the way of rain across most of the Pacific Northwest, and we'll see decreasing clouds overnight with a temperature of 41 degrees. Should be a great looking Friday. We'll start out with sunshine, and then we'll see clouds roll in about this time tomorrow night, but a beautiful day, a little bit above average with a high of 65 degrees. I think we're going to get some thunderstorms or some rain developing Saturday night or late Saturday afternoon into Saturday night, a high of 70. It's a cool front that moves in on Sunday. Look for more rain at times on Sunday, and then a daytime high of 60. Also going to see breezy conditions. Hang around, folks. In just about 10 minutes, I'll have a look at your 7-day forecast. Again, that's just 10 minutes away.
All right. Sounds good, Tom. Thanks very much. The other big story that we have been following today, Idaho is going to start reopening its economy starting tomorrow. Idaho is starting its phase 1, which means places of worship can open as long as they can adhere to strict social distancing, sanitation protocol, and guidance from the CDC. Also, daycare facilities and organized youth activities, that opens tomorrow as well, and that will include camps.
Stay Healthy order replaces the statewide stay home order that has been in place since March 25th. Everyone must do their part to ensure we can progress to stage 2 by wearing face coverings in public places, washing their hands frequently, and following the other guidelines for all stages.
So in stage 1, Idahoans are still advised to avoid all non-essential travel or gatherings of large people. A 14-day self-quarantine for anyone who enters Idaho from another state, that also needs to continue through the month of May. Back in Washington, Governor Jay Inslee is expected to extend the stay-at-home order tomorrow. Just yesterday, he said the state isn't ready to fully reopen. He said, though, he will announce phases that Washington will take to begin reopening tomorrow. The stay-at-home order was set to last until May 4th, but again, he said that will be extended. We'll update you on the new date tomorrow on KREM 2 News as well as KREM.com. In the meantime, more than 3.8 million workers have applied for unemployment in the last week. We saw a slight decrease in claims compared to the week before, so that is at least a little bit of good news. In Washington, there were more than 1.4 million claims filed last week. Initial claims for regular benefits increased 67%, and total initial claims spiked 453%. All right, we saw that today was a bit cooler, but Tom is back right after the break to let us know when we can get outside again to enjoy the sunshine. Before we go, though, we do want to give a quick shout out to one of our great seniors here in the area. This is Madison Hendricks, a senior at Moses Lake High School. We love giving shout outs to all the seniors right now because we know they're having kind of a rough senior year as they miss out on some of those big milestones. Please text us 2020 to 509-448-2000 so you can submit the senior in your life. We'll be right back.
Show me a logger, a hauler, and I'll show you the heart of all of us. The heart that grows our forests tall. The heart that protects the run and the flow and builds a home that holds us tight. The heart that's strong and beats through the worst of times. Show me a forester, a mill worker. Show me a man, a woman, a child of Idaho, and I'll show you what it means to get through. We are all the heart of Idaho, and we take care.
When you own a Yamaha boat, you get to experience more. You can walk on water, see the world from a whole new perspective. Because we set the standard in reliability, versatility, and design. Yamaha customers don't just get on the water. They run the water.
Run the water with the all-new selection of Yamaha boats at Specialty Recreation and Marine in Coeur d'Alene.
Right now, there is nothing more important than clean. As an essential business, Zero Res is still open and still cleaning. To help as many people as we can, Zero Res is offering 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for free. The Zero Res method has been lab tested, proven that no other method cleans better, offering you peace of mind around cleaning when you need it most. Schedule your cleaning with Zero Res today. Spend $50 on additional services, and Zero Res will clean 3 rooms of carpet for free.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, every new and select pre-owned Honda comes with a nationwide lifetime warranty.
Worried about your credit, money down, or monthly payment?
We have cars, trucks, and SUVs to fit everyone's budget.
Like the Honda Civic or the HR-V.
Need something to fit the whole family? Try our 8-passenger Honda Pilot or our best-selling CR-V.
Going off-road to play in the Northwest? The Honda Ridgeline will get you there.
Great selection, great prices, lifetime warranty. Check out our website at cdahonda.com.
Welcome back. We want you to check this out. Oh my, that is a tumbleweed tornado. Happened right there along Washington State Route 240. That's right near the Hanford site in the Tri-Cities. This was about 3:30 this afternoon. It was a Seattle journalist that saw it approaching and quickly pulled over to capture this video. Wow, oh wow. So we know that the wind hasn't let up completely. It was definitely breezy this morning, but it seems like it's shaping up into a pretty nice evening. Tom, do you think we can kind of rely on the winds slowly dying it down for the rest of the night?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. We've had southwesterly winds in that 15 to 20 mile and then gusting to 25 mile per hour range. But tomorrow, looking for wind out of the southwest, only 5 to 10 miles an hour. It's going to be a beautiful Friday. And quite frankly, it's a beautiful evening we've got going on right now. We're right at our average high temperature for this time of year. It's 62 now in Spokane, 62 over in Coeur d'Alene, 63 degrees in Sandpoint. You've got mid to upper 60s out towards central Washington. You can see Moses Lake right now at 69, 65 in Othello. We still have a few showers on the satellite radar picture that we're showing you. Most of those over in areas of northeastern Washington and north central Idaho, but we're not seeing any rain here as of yet. I'm not going to rule out a shower, but really I think as the evening goes on, we're going to see decreasing cloudiness, and we'll look for mostly clear skies in the overnight hours, and then we'll look for sunshine on Friday before we begin to see more showers developing on Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. Hey, let me run the future tracker computer model for you. Look at this. So if the model identifies those showers up along the Canadian border, and we continue with a chance of rain into the early morning hours to the north of Spokane. That's at 1 o'clock. Now look at all the showers disappear and the cloud cover disappear, and we'll start things off tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, at least here locally with sunshine and into Coeur d'Alene and most of the state. A few high clouds up there in northern Idaho. And then as we work our way through Friday night, you begin to see a few more clouds beginning to roll into the picture. That will lead to mostly cloudy skies for your Saturday. So your Friday forecast, partly cloudy in central Washington, a high of 70 in Moses Lake, 69 in Ephrata, 69 expected in Grand Coulee. Deer Park, you'll see a low of 34, then a high of 64. Sunshine for much of the day tomorrow here in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene and surrounding areas. 63 in St. John, down in Wilbur, 65 in St. Mary's, 64 degrees on the beautiful St. Joe River, St. Mary's, Idaho. Pullman and Moscow will get up to 63. Colfax, I think you're also going to see a high of 63 degrees. Colville, one of the warmer locations, at 67. Chewelah, you'll probably get up to about 65 tomorrow. Libby, Montana, will see a high of 67. So you can see temperatures are trending a few degrees above average on Friday. Then we've got that rain moving in Saturday, even some thunderstorms possible Saturday late afternoon into the evening hours. That will continue into Sunday with a daytime high of 60. And then I've got temperatures temperatures in the 60s next week, with 68 expected by that following Thursday. All in all, not a bad-looking 7-day forecast. Don't forget, Whitney and our friends at home, that I've got a 10-day outlook for you coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. I hope you'll join us then.
We will absolutely be there. And by the way, I love that a cool down is still 60 degrees. I mean, that's, we're headed into the right time of year.
It's all relative, isn't it?
Exactly. All right, Tom, thanks very much. We'll check in with you here in just a bit. A proper send-off, though, for a much-loved mailman. A Michigan neighborhood celebrated their mailman's last day of work by decorating all of their mailboxes. They didn't have to be there for him to know that he's appreciated. So we leave you now with all the sights and sounds from their big thank you for all of his hard work. Neighbors even stepping out in the rain to say thank you to Larry Doherty, who had worked in that neighborhood for 21 years. We'll be right back.
Toyota's family stretches to every corner of this country, so you can trust us to be here for our community, because the Toyota family is stronger together. Toyota.
We are dreamers, adventurers, family, nurturing, fun, affordable. We are St. George's. See for yourself. Contact our admissions office today to learn more. St. George's School, Spokane's only non-religious independent K-12 school. Learn more at sgs.org.
Right now, staying connected is more important than ever. And fast, reliable, secure internet from Xfinity can help. We have plans to fit every budget with speeds up to a gig, all at Xfinity.com. We'll ship you a self-install kit that makes setup quick, safe, and easy. No tech visit required. And our simple digital tools will help you manage your account online. At Xfinity, we're committed to keeping you connected. Find great offers and value today at Xfinity.com.
Your home wants you to stay home right now, and we do too. But when you need something from the store, we got you. If you dream of clean stores, that's a thing now. We got you. And if you'd rather shop online, we got you. Your home may not have an ice cream aisle, but it's still the best place to be.
As an essential business, we're open for parts and service. At Gus Johnson Ford, we service every make and model and follow protocol to keep us all safe. While our sales office is closed, please shop online for historic Ford offers. Unless you are an essential employee, we cannot sell you a vehicle today, but we can answer all of your questions by phone or online, and my team can work out a deal of a lifetime. And thank you for supporting local business like Gus Johnson Ford.
Celebrate the class of 2020 with the Senior Shoutout, only on KREM 2 News.
All right, we want to give you a quick sneak peek at a story that we're working on for you at 6 tonight. The coronavirus pandemic taking a heavy toll on preparations for wildfire season. I had a chance to sit down and talk with the DNR Commissioner of Public Lands, Hillary Franz, about this upcoming season, which is already expected to be more active. But now there is the added complication of trying to protect firefighters from a new threat.
Usually, you've been to our fire camps. We have firefighters in very close quarters. Social distancing is not something we're using. We're having to look at how do we create social distancing environments so that not only can we keep our firefighters safe from fire, but we can keep them safe from the spread of COVID.
What are you hearing about what this fire season could present as far as challenges? So you'll hear more of her answers in our conversation. That's coming up tonight on KREM 2 News at 6. Hope you will join us. We leave you now with something good to know. World War II veteran Captain Tom Moore being honored for his 100th birthday over in the UK. The celebration, though, not for his military service. We actually brought you this story earlier this month. He stepped onto the world stage with his walk around the garden. He raised $40 million to support healthcare workers. His original goal was a mere $120. So well done, Captain. Everyone, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 6.
Thanks for watching KREM 2 News at 5.